This is the Toro Totter. It's me and Pontius versus Dunn and Bam, and the last man on the teeter-totter is the winner.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Oh, no.
I actually named his penis Moby Dick.
The most annoying children I've ever met in my entire life. Cut it out.
Did somebody take my underwear?
I did. I put them on because mine, I peed on accident.
Was arrested.
Prostitution whore. You are f***ing gay 19 times. You dick.
This is the things that I think I'm addicted to. Bronzer, boys, and alcohol.
What's up, New York? Oh, come on, Dick.
I'm just feeling this. Like, my back is aching, my belt too tight, my hips are shaking from the left to the right to the left. Mom. To the right. Mom. Try it.
Oh my God.
Literally, I'm humiliated. I need to run out. Like, I'm humiliated.
I wish I had an extra finger, then I can grab my cheese ball.
That was before your boob job, is that what you're meant?
My ultimate dream is to move to Jersey, find a nice, juiced, hot, tan guy, and live my life. The plumbers are here, finally. The fat one is actually kind of cute.
I never really did care too much about other people's needs.
They weren't gonna show my ass crack or my nipples. This is full porn. You're sitting there laughing. It's not funny.
You were kicked out because she wasn't good enough.
No, bitch, I left. You ran back up in that studio, and I see why they didn't want you back, because your kid sucks.
I meet this guy at the bar. First off, I see muscles, so I'm like, okay, like, this guy's my type. He's looking good. Like, I really don't remember his face because I was wasted. I'm not trashy, unless I drink too much. Oh, my vagina's out.
You're basically a psycho and you're full of mood swings.
All right, wait. You're gonna tell me nobody's ever hated somebody who sits on her fat ass watching reality shows, talking about every person on there, and no one's hated her? My ass. I'll tell you who hates you. I hate you. With a passion.
Felt like if I was sober, I'd be bored. I couldn't even tell you how I felt in that jail cell. It was like a phenomenon. I was wearing my corset. I was like, you know what? I look slutty, but I don't give a shit.
Coming to my trap! You...
Well, okay, so something that I often talk to my kid about when we see people on TV is people who act selfishly. They act in a way that benefits them at the expense of others. So I would say somebody who does that in a way that might influence other people, young people, would be a bad role model.
So for me, a bad role model would be an individual that leads or encourages a young adult down a dangerous path, or a path that will prevent them from being successful in the future. Keeping up with the Kardashians, my concern with a show like that is that it oftentimes focuses in on the appearance of an individual as opposed to the quality of an individual.
I guess it shows society that, or society then can assume that all of those people that are that age act like that. And in reality, if you wanted to throw a bunch of social psych, or not social psych, but just psych terms at those people, if we took the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual, all those people on Jersey Shore and the Kardashians could they should all show symptoms of mental illness, right, of one or another.
I would imagine they put out things that, you know, kind of like the shows. Yeah, I don't even want to know what Kardashian posts, you know, their posts are on Twitter and Facebook, whatnot, but I would assume it's very similar to the show. So probably those same things get put out there, and then I think that's probably even more dangerous just because it's that same format of social media, so people can see that and just retweet it or, you know, do this, and they don't even have to be the one coming up with this horrible saying or this horrible picture. They can just send it off and then still get the attention for bringing it to their friends' attention and kind of perpetuate it that way.
It's like, that's why people like to look at car wrecks. They slow down, they kind of want to see the carnage. They're kind of like, ooh, I'm glad that's not me. And it's interesting, it's entertaining to see car wrecks, whether it's a person's personal life or a little literal car wreck.
I think the filming style that gets used oftentimes is attractive to the eye of young adults.
Well, educational programs have to teach certain things and bring in certain ideas, where they can film 50 hours and trim it down to 1 hour of just all the just most asinine, ridiculous things these people do, so they can make it more engaging and entertaining. Whereas, you know, Bill Nye the Science Guy is not exactly boring, but he has certain things he's trying to teach. You can only do so much. You know, you can't, you know, pound a beer in a beer bong in the middle of talking about, you know, solar flares or something like that. So you can't spice it up quite as much as they can with all the editing and cutting and all that.
It is fascinating to watch people fail. I think we as humans enjoy that. I think it makes our small failures seem insignificant. So if somebody famous gets in trouble for something big, it makes my missing curfew by 15 minutes not so bad.
I will also say that I think also that it probably is heavily encouraged by social media. So as more individuals view that bad behavior, it almost gets more attention put on it instead of shut down.
I mean, I know that there have been a lot of psych papers lately about Kardashians' influence on American teenagers and their selfie need. And so, and they're actually looking at some disorders around the need to take selfies all the time. And if Kim Kardashian wasn't doing that all the time and posting that constantly, I mean, she's really made a social shift that way.
Yeah.
Just like the way we learn the English language is by we say what we hear, and I think we end up doing what we see, and those are role models. I mean, we do what we expose ourselves to.
I think if you were to ask any person who was watching that show, they could recognize it's not reality. But if you're continually watching it, that might change, right? They might make that reality, which is not so good.
If an individual is exposed to and drawn towards that bad behavior, it becomes more of a norm, so that when somebody else perpetrates the same behavior, it's almost as if it's like, well, you know, it's happening here also, so it becomes more acceptable. I'm certainly not in support of highlighting or focusing in on behavior that is not supportive of anybody's development. I would be concerned about that.
And so the fact that we're using those as role models means that we're not really paying attention. Role models should be those after college people that are working hard to find a job or working hard and being successful.
I think they get a view that that's reality, and they think that's the way the world really works. And I think the problem with that is that creates the reality then, is because people start to act like that, and they think that's the way we should act, or that's what gets things done, or that's what gives, I don't know, satisfaction or happiness or whatever. So I think people start to take on those traits, which is a tragedy.
On an individual level, people can turn off the TVs and they can stop following them, right? They're only famous because people are following them.